SwiftData just made data persistence easier. Here's how to use it with a HStack to build a real SwiftUI application. So this is the application we'll be creating. As you can see, it's within a HStack. It enables the user to add toppings that they want for their burger. For example, you can add bacon, lettuce, and as you can see, as I add each topping, the rolling total gets incremented. You can add a pickle, or if you want to, you can also delete the toppings that you added. So if I delete a pickle, the actual running total will be reduced. As you can see, it was reduced, and the application also allows the user to sort on low to high. So it will sort the toppings on the cheapest toppings first. So lettuce is at the top, which is 20 pence, or you can sort on the highest topping. You can also sort by name, which will be in alphabetical order. We can also search for the toppings that we want. If I type in bacon, it filters and narrows the topping to bacon, or if I type in B, or let's try another one, if I type in O, it displays all the toppings that includes the letter O, and that includes bacon, mushroom, tomatoes. We can also add a random topping by clicking on the plus button. And then all of this information is stored in SwiftData and retrieved from SwiftData. Don't forget to subscribe for more Swift and SwiftUI tutorials. We will continue where we left off in the previous tutorial. In the previous tutorial, there was a little issue with this line. It's an easy fix anyway. All we need to do is to include our system name, the actual image. So the title we'll be using, or the name we'll be using, is plus circle.fill, close bracket, and that fits the little issue. The next thing we need to do is to add a button style. Don't know if the preview is going to work. Add a button style dot border or bordered prominent dot accessibility. Yeah, we don't really need accessibility label unless we're going to do like UI tests. So we can ignore that one. On lines, or after line 42, the next thing we need to do is to add our segmented control. It's similar to a picker. So I just copied this from the clipboard. It's not copied, I have to copy it again. Let me just pause it. I've now copied the code to the clipboard just to reduce the typing and the length of the video. So this will create our picker that will resemble this. So the picker, or the segmented control, will have a name, a low and high price. A high-low, so that the user can sort from the highest to the lowest, or from the lowest to the highest, and also sort in descending and ascending order on their name or on the toppings. Search doesn't exist, so it seems like I spelled it incorrectly. So that should be called search. And the next thing we need to do is to enable the user to filter on a topping name, for example. So if I type in any toppings there, such as, I don't know, A, it will locate all of the toppings that contains the letter A, such as bacon, tomato, jalapeno. So we add that feature now. So whereabouts shall we add that feature now? Yeah, let's just leave it where it is. We just leave the text element where it is here. So that it will resemble this layout. Next thing we need to do is to add a background color, which is a dot secondary system background, and also a clip shape, which will have a rounded rectangle with a corner radius of 14. That should be corner radius, not corner size. Don't think the preview is working. The next thing we need to do is to add a shadow, color, and that should be shadow, color, dot black, opacity should be 0.06, and radius should be 8, and Y should be 4. Don't know why it's not working. So the radius 8, Y 4. I missed out the colon, and that's it. So the next thing we need to do is to create our grid card. The grid card will include topping, price, and action, as seen here. This is our grid card. It includes topping, price, and action columns. So I just copy the code from the clipboard. I'll just pause it. Okay, we'll place our grid card. We need another closing bracket here. And then I'll just compile it and explain what the code does afterwards. So it's compiled okay. So with the grid card, we create it using a VStack with a horizontal spacing, a grid horizontal spacing of 16, and a grid row, so that each grid has its own row that relates to toppings, price, and action. And then we just style each of the rows with a foreground style, secondary. And we style the price as well with a subheading of .weight, semi-bold. And then we just set a frame, and the frame includes a price min width and also an action column width. And the purpose of using that within the frame is so that the columns or the frame doesn't jump when we add or delete records within the HStack. So what else do we need to do now? Let's just see if it works in the preview. Let me reduce it a bit. So in the preview, this is what it looks like at the moment. The next thing we need to do is to add a divider. As you can see here, it includes a faint divider, a faint line, which is here. To add the divider, we just type in divider grid cell columns, which is 3. So what that will do, the divider will span the 3 columns from here to there. The next thing we need to do is to loop through each of the toppings and display the toppings within each of the grid rows, which is the HStack. So we filter. I think we have to create another function. Yeah, we have to create another function to do that. Okay, let's see if we can create that now then. So we need a function called filter and sorted. Private, that's a computer property, private bar, filtered and sorted, that will return an array of toppings. Let filtered equals toppings dot filter. It should be toppings dot filter t in search.empty is empty. So we're filtering on the data set within SwiftData. Filter, so search.empty or t.name dot localize case insensitive contains. So what we're doing here, we're searching for any of the criteria that's either within the name of the topping or in the emoji. And then back to our for each, we can just call the function, the computer property that we just created. So that should be called filtered. Let me just copy it. And this was created in the wrong place. We need to create this outside. So let's just move it and put it here. And that should be for each. And then what else do we need to do? So what we need to do is, using the filtered and sorted computer property, we need to get each of the elements or the element as an object. We just call it topping. And then we have to create a grid row and then within our grid row we need to create a HStack with a spacing of 10 pixels, and then we start to display each of the toppings. Topping.emoji, and then we complete the rest of that feature next week. So just put a little like hint there, complete for next week. But we also need to complete the actual function for filtered and sort. So see if we can do that now. Switch sort case dot name. So sorting on name in ascending. Return filter dot sorted. And that should be filtered dot sorted. Filtered dot sorted, is that right? Right, let's see. So we get the name attribute from the variable, from the array, and then we do a localized compare to see if the name is equal to the value that we passed in. Oh, sorry, no, that's incorrect. What we're doing a filtering so that it will filter in ascending or descending order. Case.price ascending. So if it's for ascending order, we return the sorted array, where it does a comparison of $0 price is less than $1 price. Case price descending, and then it returns filtered got sorted $0.price is more than $1.price. And that's how it does the comparisons and the sorting to sort the array. Just compile it. It's compiled. So next week we'll start to implement the rest of the features and functionality for the content view.